Can you just talk about the thought process behind the 2 subs you've made to your roster for the ALCS?
Well, we added Ryan Goins. Travis is good to go. I mean, we think he'll be fine, but there's, if something flares up on him early, there's no guarantees you can sub him out. We didn't think we could be left with, really no extra infielder. Because that guy would be Russ Martin. That would be his job. So, I mean, he could do it, but that wouldn't be ideal. And then, we kept Pompey on in case we get in a situation. We got some guys. You get crunch time where you got to score a run, maybe score from first base, what have you. We've got a few guys you need to run for. So he might end up scoring a big run for us on it, maybe just a double in the gap or something, 2 outs. So it did cost Smoak. Really wasn't a whole lot of at bats if you look at our lineup. You hope that doesn't haunt you, but not a whole lot of pinch hitting we do anyway. But we really needed to cover ourselves, with the middle infield.
Who else? Tyler?
Hey, Gibby. We've seen in this postseason, I think the relief pitchers in general have I can see it. Relievers have been a little more successful than starters in this postseason so far. Why do you think relievers, at least so far, have dominated the way they have in these games?
Well, I don't know, but I know what's happening out there. You look back, I mean, it's turning the baseball world upside down with the way bullpens have been used lately. I don't know if you don't do it, I don't know what's going to happen. So, but you really, some of your top pitchers in the game are your late inning guys. And they're getting rewarded for making big money. And in teams, have found, well, they haven't found, but it's always been the case. But you get, if you can close out a game the last couple innings, I mean, that's good winning teams. That's what they do. If you struggle down there in the pen or it's a little iffy, you end up costing yourself a lot of games. So, naturally, teams looking for the big arms. I don't know if is this answering your question?
Yeah.
Okay. They like strikeouts. Strikeouts are huge late in the game, so generally that's your big arms that can dominate. When contact's your enemy, but really it's been on full display, really, and you look back in all games, all playoff games, National League, American League, really in these first couple rounds. So, it's a nice luxury to have, if you get that guy or especially if you got 2 or 3 of them, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you as a manager enjoy that freedom to, you've managed Osuna aggressively a little bit. I know he had the shoulder thing, but you pushed him a little bit. Do you enjoy that freedom to kind of say, hey, these are the big outs, and I'm going to use these guys the way I want to?
Yes, but you also still have to be careful with that somewhat too. It's late in the season. These guys have all your late inning guys have all to get here. There's a lot of save situations. Those guys get worked a lot. So they're tired, fatigued. We had to deal with Osuna. It turned out to be nothing, we don't think. And then, but it can be alarming. So I don't think you got to be careful pushing them, beyond their limits. You may end up losing them, and that would be a shame. But there is certain points in the game. You might need them a little bit earlier. But if you're a team that has the luxury of a couple guys you could do that with, it make it a heck of a lot easier. You can go to somebody earlier than you probably normally would. I mean, but this time of year is so much different. But really, the key to winning anything, I think, this time of year, you have to have more than one guy. You have to have 2 or 3 guys down there that can get some outs late in the game. Maybe not the 9th inning, but the second half of a game, or you probably have 0 chance anyway.
Andrew?
John, how would you describe Toronto as a baseball town from when you first got there to now?
Well, you know what? It's on fire right now. I mean, we saw that last year. But when I first arrived, my first year on the job there was 2002, and their teams weren't very good. And the attendance was down, but I probably wouldn't pay money to go see a team that wasn't very good either, to be honest with you. I couldn't blame them for that. But I'd always heard the stories, back in the heyday, when they won the back-to-back World Series and when the new stadium opened up and everything, there wasn't a better baseball town out there. I think it was first team to draw 4 million people, I believe. And that tells you everything you need to know, but they always said to us along the way, we really never got to that point for a while anyway, that, if you put a legitimate team out there that's, competing at the end, they'll show up. And really that's just what happened last year at the end of the season. And then, of course, they came out all year long this year. I think we led the league in attendance. So they're definitely doing their part, that's for sure. And it's an exciting place. It's a loud place, and like I said, the people are on fire, and it's a good place for home field, that's for sure.